guys, just got home from work. I stopped at Napa yesterday. I got some brake clean. I got like 4 or 5 cans. So there should be plenty to clean everything up I need to clean up. Today I'm probably just gonna only clean the block up and paint it. So that way tomorrow I'm probably not going to do anything in the morning. Probably going to get out of work, come home, and then sleep, and then get up as early as I can while it's warm out, because it's kind of getting cold out. Today's like the first cold morning. It's September 2nd now, so it's going to be getting cold. Boost season is here finally, I guess. I mean, it's a thing. I don't know. I don't really care. I'm gonna boost regardless, you know what I'm saying? But it's a huge difference, man. Driving in like this time of year when it's like 70s, sometimes 80s, like in the like around 3 o'clock or 2 o'clock in the afternoon, and then when it drops down to like in the 30s, it's literally like a 25 or 30 horsepower difference. It feels like more than that. So I guess it is a real thing you can be. But anyway, today, get this block cleaned up, mask it all off, paint the block, and then just gonna let it dry all day today, all night tomorrow night, and most of the day tomorrow. Should be plenty enough dry, so that way I can hammer this shit out and get this fucking engine in Nelly tomorrow night.
Work it, make it, do it, make sense. Harder, better, faster, stronger. More than power, never.
Alright, so it is now Friday night. I slept way later than I wanted to, but I got home from work this morning and played some iRacing and stayed up a little longer than I planned to. So out here in the garage now, show you the paint. I did like 4 or 5 or 6 coats. What I would do is, like before work, I come home, or before work I'd come out and do another coat, and then I get home from work, do another coat, and then before I went to bed this morning, I did like 2 or 3 coats. So should be plenty dry. I could probably take the paint off, or the tape and shit off. One thing I always do when I paint my engines is thread some old fucking bolts in all these bolt holes so that way the threads don't get fucked up. It seems like a common sense thing to do, but I don't remember a time where I never didn't do that. So, but it just makes your life a lot easier if you ain't got fucking paint and all them threads. So I'm gonna take all the tape off, and then the next thing to go on would be the front case. Alright, so I got all the tape and shit off. I clean up the front case gasket surface with some brake clean and a rag because I had a little bit of overspray in some spots. Took all the bolts out of the block, and I put the knock sensor in. So next I am gonna clean up the front case and find some gaskets and seals and start putting this fucker back together. Alright, so front case is on. Now I'm going to put my forward facing oil footer housing on. I got my gasket. I clean this up really good. So I'm going to put this on. Get my bolts here. Alright, so I didn't tighten down the front case bolts yet. I wanted to put the oil footer housing on there first. They're all supposed to be like 14 to 16 foot-pounds, except for this one. I think this is like 22 to 24. I don't ever really use a torque wrench on this kind of stuff. It's a good idea to do it, but I just don't. I'm snug them all up by hand first, basically. Alright. Now these do crack very easily, so you don't want to overdo it. 14 to 16 foot-pounds is not much at all. Alright, so I just tightened this oil pump sprocket down. It's like 36, 38 foot-pounds or so. Now, obviously it's hard because if you got your balance shafts deleted, there's really no way to lock this when you go to tighten this down. So what I always do is get some pliers on the back of the stubby shaft down there, and then hold it with pliers and then crank it down. You'll probably be like, oh, what's up, Kurt? Fucking. Yeah, no, I mean, like, obviously it'll be known, but we can all talk. Like, Kyle's a cool dude. I don't know if we should leave him on his own, bud. That's what I'm saying here. We'll talk for him. Practicing driving truck. Yeah, Alright, so now I'm going to put the motor mount bracket on, but I wanted to show you guys, I mentioned earlier that you got to do some trimming on this bracket because you got to use the 2G motor mount bracket obviously when you put any motor in a 2G, so, or any 46 rig in a 2G. So if you go to put it on, it's hitting the water pump. You know, it's overlapping. So I gotta cut this. I gotta cut that bracket off, trim it up so that way it clears the water pump. So I'm gonna get the angle grinder out, do some cutting. Alright, so I got the mount cut. Alright, see now it clears, so I can bolt it down and move on to the next step. Alright, time belt's on. So if you couldn't tell in the video, I set the cam gears up perfectly lined up. There's the timing marks. Both dowel pins are straight up. I line these up perfectly, and then I zip tie the belt to each cam gear, bring it down, line up the oil pump sprocket. I don't have to do this because my balance shafts are eliminated, but I always do it. Just it's good practice, and I'm weird, I guess. So I always line it up, and then put it on the crank. The dowels, these two little dowels here on the tensioner pulley, they gotta be like roughly like 11 o'clock and 1 o'clock position. And then you crank it down, and I always use thread locker on that bolt because that bolt has backed out on me and Kurt. Obviously you'll bend valves if your timing belt slips because that bolt comes out. So thread locker on there, cranked her down. I have this little, where is it here? I just had the fucker. Right here it is. So it's just a little timing belt tensioner pulley tool. It just goes in here. And the little dowels, and then you take your 8mm wrench, put it on there, and then get it to where you need it. Alright, so I rotated the engine 6 times. Crank, the whole engine has to be turned 6 revolutions just so you can check how it works. So cam gear timing marks line up, oil pump sprocket lines up, and same with the timing mark on the crank. Hopefully you can see that. So everything's good. This pin, if you get the tension right, or the tension of pulley right, you should be able to freely pull that. I have an Allen key in there right now. Pull that in and out, and you can see that I can do that. So that's how you know it's lined up properly, or set, the tension set properly. So I just pulled the Allen key out, and I can put it right back in. That's how you know tension is where you want it. That's what you want. So now I can pull the pin. I'm done with the pin, and the time belt's done. Alright, so I'm cleaning up the oil pan, and I just want to show you guys, I already cleaned up the surface with a flap disc, but now I'm going to go through with a Dremel and clean out the inside of these oil galleys, or whatever you want to call them, because it still has RTV from the last time it was used. So it's just really important to get all these cleaned out as best as you can. So that's what really seals the oil pan, is these little galleys. So go through and Dremel this shit out, clean it up. All right, so oil pan's on. These bolts, they're really easy to strip, or sometimes they'll snap off inside the block, or there's a few holes there in the front case that they bolt to there. So you want them tight, but you don't want them too tight. It's a lot like the valve cover. You don't want them too tight because they'll either strip, snap, or they'll crack the valve cover. So oil pan's on. I gotta take the return line fitting off of the 7-bolt oil pan and put that on. Another thing that's very important is over here with at least this bolt too, kind of. You want the shortest bolts you can find. So if you take your oil pan off, you use all your oil pan bolts, and if you're reusing the same bolts, just make sure that the really short ones, I mean they're all really short, but the shortest ones right here needs to be the shortest, and then this one also needs to be short, because if not, they'll come all the way through and touch the timing belt, and that'll cut your timing belt, or wear, put a like a cut in it or whatever. You don't want that to be rubbing your timing belt, obviously. So just another thing to keep in mind when you're doing this. I just wanted to go over a few things. I don't know how much time lapse or whatever I'm going to have in this, but I wanted to explain a little bit about what I've done. So I had a brand new timing belt kit, water pump, and everything. It's been sitting on the shelves for a while. So I have a new water pump on there, new timing belt pulley, idler pulley. I'm reusing the same auto tensioner. I don't have another one of those, I don't think, anyway. I actually probably do, but oh well. So obviously the timing belt's brand new. I got my forward-facing oil filter housing. This is where I was feeding the turbo from when it was in the 1G, but now I'm gonna have to feed from the head because I'm using a MHI 16G, so it requires a lot less oil pressure. So if I put it there, I need to get a restrictor for the 16G. So what I'm going to end up doing is I could probably just run my oil pressure gauge there, so that way I just put my oil pressure line on there, and I have like a remote mount oil pressure sending unit thing. So put a line on there, run it to my sending unit, and then I'll be good there. I won't have to get like a plug or anything. So water pipe is on. This is that line I was explaining about before that goes to the front of the turbo, the coolant line. This is a 1G thermostat housing, obviously. Now normally, like the 2G thermostat housing, it wouldn't come down like this. It would come up and it would go inside. It would go inside the thermostat housing, which I already took off, but that's where it went. So the 2Gs have, they use these 4 bolts right here, and it's like a rectangular kind of pattern. And then the 1Gs, so you can use a 1G or you can use a 1G on either head, 1G or 2G. The 1G just uses these 3 bolts. It's more of a triangle pattern instead of a rectangle. I don't know if you can see it there, but so when you do a 6-bolt swap, if you use a 6-bolt head, you'll have to use a 1G thermostat housing, which is better anyway because it's such a pain in the ass how the water pump or the water pipe goes up inside the fucking thermostat housing and shit. It's a cocksucker. So now that also means I'm gonna have to do something with my lower radiator hose. I could just get a 1G lower radiator hose. I'm sure I probably got one, but normally your lower radiator hose will come off the radiator and go up to the thermostat housing there. So it's been a while. I don't know if I even need to get a new one or if it'll work, but instead of the lower radiator hose going from the radiator to the thermostat housing, now it goes from the radiator to the water pipe itself. So, which is also a lot better, I think. Alright guys, so I went inside for a few hours last night. Man, I look high as fuck right now. I am super tired. I went inside to take a nap, kind of, because I just got really tired, kind of. And so I went inside, ate some food, just couldn't sleep. So I laid there for hours, and now I'm back outside. I cleaned up my red valve cover that was on the 2G, and then I realized that I had another valve cover that I used to have on Ivy a long time ago. It's one of the Hyundai valve covers. It's the thicker one, not the one that says Hyundai. So I flipped the camera around, and here she is. Cleaned it up. I'm gonna let it dry for a minute, and then I gotta get all the little bits of RTV out from the bottom where the gasket was. But that's what I'm going to use. I think I'm not even going to paint it. I'm just going to leave it black, change it up a little bit. But the inside of the head still looks beautiful. It's got Brian Crower 272 cams and Brian Crower valve springs. So that'll be another nice little addition to Nelly. Everything's going pretty good. I gotta hook up some of these coolant lines yet. I'm probably gonna get some brand new hose at the parts store today. I gotta pick up a fucking axle yet today too. So get some new hoses, because this one's fine, but some of them are like, you know, they get really hard and shit. So I'll just change them out. I gotta change the fuel rail out and injectors, and then hopefully soon I can get the engine off, the engine stand, put the starter plate on, the flywheel, clutch, and all that good shit, and then get the transmission washed up, so that way I can put that on, because that thing is hideous. So hopefully soon this thing will be ready to drop in the engine bay. Alright, so I just wanted to go over something with you guys real quick. For my transmission bolts, I always use Nord-Lock washers, and this is what they look like. I use two of them. They lock to each other. They kind of got like these grooves in them, kind of, and it just makes, I mean, they could still back out, I guess, technically, but it makes it a lot fucking harder. And I always have problems with my transmission bolts backing out. I've literally had my transmission fall off one time, damn near. So it's a big pain in the ass, and this kind of shit saves you. And then on top of that, I always use red Loctite on my transmission bolts. So what I do is I put all my transmission bolts in, and then I'll take them out one by one. Like, I'll make sure they're all tight. Like right now they're all tight except for the one. So I take it out, put a little dab of thread locker on there, and then put it back in. Oop, forgot the washers here. Ever since I switched to doing this method here, like, I've never had a single issue with my transmission bolts backing out, and I can't tell you how many times it's happened. So when it happened on Ivy, I actually broke the fucking ear off of the block on where this bolt goes to. I literally snapped the ear off the block there, so I had to pull the fucking motor, pull the transmission, and send the motor out to get that ear welded back up. Not on this motor, but my last 6 bolt. But anyway, I just wanted to go over that. Same with the smaller bolt, the 12mm bolt head back there. Same exact thing with that bolt. So just something that I wanted to share with you guys. My boy Kurt. I need to figure out where.
You already got it in. What do you need me for?
No, I just now dropped it. I had the bolts in. I can't find the wall stop. I don't know what bolt. Transmission side.
fucking Lordy.
Holy shit, where fucking the piston go?
Yeah, I couldn't find
The
it.
block is fucked too.
And
You
everything.
can't even rebuild it. That's junk.
No, that's absolutely trash.
Maybe. Oh yeah, I forgot there's a hole in it. Huh?
Gotta like,
Go backwards.
it's hard to get the front up.
You need to take that chain off of this wrist.
Put it where though?
Dude, I started using a seatbelt. So much easier. You have a seatbelt? Dude, it's so much easier. You just fucking tie it around there. Tie it around the intake manifold.
Alright,
You can fucking do it however you want.
seatbelt's on the top of that rack and right of this front mount, so get this fucking chain off. Alright, show me how you do, bud. Show me how you do.
First, take this little bastard here.
Okay.
We'll teach this kind of stuff in mechanic school, but this is secret trade info.
I've been seeing a lot of videos of people pulling every fucking video on that YouTube channel I watch is
Every motor we ever got from Ambrosius was fucking over that came with a free seatbelt.
yeah, couldn't even find my little chain, so I had to use a big long fucker.
Holy shit.
I can't get it off of this side yet till the motor's up high.
Fuck off.
You dropping it around the intake?
Huh?
You dropping it around the intake?
Yeah.
That's the runner that fucking cracked.
You'd be alright.
Yeah?
You're not going high.
Hold on. It's coming untied.
Let's just settle in. You'll be alright. Bam. Fucking best thing they ever made for a car was a seatbelt.
Alright, let me get this fucking
I gotta get
chain
you
out here. So it's lined up then?
one side is.
Fuck. This was definitely that bolt. Had a weirdly shaped nut right there, nut and washer. Bolt.
Alright, can you see the back?
Not really. Alright, so I'm still awake. It's like 4:30 or so in the afternoon now, which means I've been up for like almost 24 hours. But anyway, Kurt stopped in, gave me a hand. You seen that? We got a lot of shit done. Motor's in the car. Axles are in. Transmission's in. Motor mounts are in. I couldn't find my remote sending unit kit that I have, so I put a sending unit for an aftermarket gauge. I don't even know if it's gonna work. It's a cheap glow shift gauge, I think. So, but I needed a plug basically, because that's where I was running my feed line, and I'm on my 1G, but now I'm feeding from the head, so I just needed a plug, so that'll work even if my gauge don't work. I might not even hook the gauge up. I don't know, but I'm gonna give it a shot. So this manifold is kind of a cocksucker. Obviously, it sits much lower and shit with than the stock one did. So I had to move this out of the way temporarily. I'm gonna have to. I don't know what the fuck I'm gonna do. It's probably, it might not hit the hood, but I don't really want to leave it like that either. But I'm gonna start hooking up the wiring harnesses and shit. Get all this fucking rat's nest of wires and shit situated. It's bothering the shit out of me, so that's what I'm gonna work on next, I guess. And hopefully get this fucker done soon because I'm dying for some boost. Alright guys, so I'm finally done. Well, done as far as like running and driving. It's gonna fire it up. I had it running earlier. I just bled the clutch so it should move under its own power. I'm gonna back it out of the garage and then put it over by the water hose, and I'm gonna put water in it instead of antifreeze for now, just to make sure that there's no leaks. And then tomorrow I can put antifreeze in it. I bought like 2 jugs of antifreeze today at Napa, I guess yesterday now, holy fuck. So I'm gonna pull out of the garage and put some water in her, and then I'm gonna take her for a fucking rip. It's like, I don't know, 5 in the morning right now probably. It's fucking late. I've been up for at least 36 hours probably. Alright, so put the window down. Hopefully it idles in a second. Turn the laptop on. The log while we're gone. A little rich right now, but I don't know if the wideband's even calibrated right now because I had it unplugged, so it shouldn't just be that much richer just from changing the engine. So I'll recalibrate that tomorrow or some shit. I just want to take it for a nice little easy drive. See here, it's back out of the garage. Might not be able to back it out of the garage yet. Get some water in it while it's running. It's not going to have enough balls to get up over the driveway there, so alright, so everything was fine. I forgot to put the intake pipe on, so that's why it was running so rough. I got to bleed the clutch more because it's not going on the gear perfectly. Well, I'm gonna take her up the road. Kind of difficult with no power steering, but make it work. Shit that I gotta update you guys with, but I was just like, I've been busting my ass, and the camera card's getting full and shit, so I wouldn't have been able to record it all anyway. But tomorrow I'll update you guys as best as I can. There's a lot of shit to update you guys with, so I can set the here. I'm so happy. Thanks for watching, guys.